Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I thought we would go down memory lane a bit. I wanted to talk about books I have actually never thought about before on my channel, I think. And that's books I used to be really into and love a lot with my whole soul and heart and think about them a lot like I do now with other books. It's not like I stopped liking them, but time passed and all my hype and I could say my love for them has like faded away into the background, and I don't know how much I would like them if I read them now, just saying. But it would just be funny to talk about these and see which books I used to be really into, because why not? It's fun. Yay. The first book that I will show you is not a surprise, and that is Twilight. This is a Norwegian edition because I didn't bother pulling out an English one from my box set. I love Twilight. I was a huge Twilight fan. It is sort of sad, but not really. I mean, I will always look back at Twilight with a lot of fun memories. It's just that, I mean, the story is a bit, it's quite bad. But I will always love it in a part of my heart, and I do still like really watching the movies here and then. Whoops. I had this enormous crush on Edward Cullen, as many others probably had as well. But now when I think back on it, I don't want to like Edward Cullen anymore. But let's not talk about that. I just wanted to say that I was a big Twilight fan, and Twilight made me want to die inside because I wanted to be a vampire so much. I mean, it's not like it would be bad to be a Twilight vampire. I mean, you could be young and beautiful forever, and I mean, I guess I could sort of choose to be a vegetarian, or I could just eat people and have cool red eyes. So it could be worse fates in the world, right? The next one is a series that I have seen so few people talk about. I mean, when I say few people, I mean no one, because I have seen no one talk about this. I found this series at my local library, and it was in the section with Harry Potter and a lot of other children's fantasy book, because that was actually the children's section, the middle grade section, I could say. I could say that this is a middle grade but slash YA, and that is Vampirates by Justin Sumper. This is a story with, guess what, pirates and vampires. I love this. I lived for this series, but the thing is that when I read it in Norwegian, and they only had the 3 first books in the library, and the 4th one did not exist in Norwegian. I don't think they translated them. I don't think they still have translated them. I didn't know what to do because I didn't read in books in English back then, so I was just like, I need to continue. And then I started just a bit later to read English books, and I ordered the 4th book in English on Amazon. And then I never read it. I still have it, of course. I think that's one of the books that I have had the longest on my TBR. I had it on my TBR for years, and I don't understand why I never read it when I actually remembered 1, 2, and 3. Because now I don't, and now I need to reread. So as you can see, I'm holding book 1, and that's because I purchased this, I maybe think, not last year, but the year before that. So I am still really interested in the series and read it again. I just don't know how much I will love it now, because I was quite young when I read them, and now I read a lot. But the whole premise is really odd because it's about these twins that get separated. The girl, Grace, that I for some reason remember the name of, comes to this pirate ship where they are vampires, and the guy who I don't remember the name of, I think his name is Connor. His name is Connor! Oh my god. He comes to a normal pirate ship, and then they try to find each other, but also Grace meets this guy on this pirate ship, and I love that guy, which I don't remember the name of. I think his name was Logan, but I'm not completely sure. He was my bookish boyfriend, and I could not stop thinking about him. So that's awkward. But yeah, I am still interested in this series, but all the love I had has faded away because I don't remember the series anymore. Great life. The next one I want to talk about is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld, and this is not like a forgotten gem or something, because the 5th book in the series actually came out this September, and now I don't even have it, so I don't know what I'm doing. Uglies, if you don't know about it, it is a dystopia, and it is about Tally, who is a 15-year-old girl, and when you turn 16, I believe, you get this operation that turns you pretty, and it's like over the top pretty, but before you turn pretty, you're not worth shit in this community. It's when you turn pretty that you start having a worth. But then she gets a new best friend over the course of a summer. Her name is Shay, but then Shay runs away, and the government tells Tally that if she can't find Shay and bring her back, then they will never turn her pretty. And Tally is like, oh my god, this can't be happening to me, but it is totally happening to her. I love the premise of this. I love the thought about what beauty means in our society. I loved how the story started out. They shocked me at every turn, and this was my favorite series for a long time. It's not like I don't like it anymore, as I have said before about other things here. It's just that my love has faded away and I don't find opportunities to talk about this book, so I'm doing it now. I mean, we can scratch Twilight from the I still love it a lot part. On the dystopia note, we have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And again, it's not like it's forgotten because everyone knows what The Hunger Games is, but I have never talked about this. And I read 1 and 2 and 3 in Norwegian. And oh my god, I suddenly remember that I had never read these books in English. I read them twice in Norwegian, one time on audiobook and one time reading them, and oh my god, this realization just happened, and that's really odd for me because, yeah, as you might tell, I read books in English. I have this whole beautiful box set of all of them in hardcover, and think about it, I never read them in these. I don't bother saying what Hunger Games is about. You know what Hunger Games is about. I love the movies, and then I love the books, and I rewatch the movies more times than I have read the books. By the end of the 4th movie, my hype has sort of died away a bit, but I don't know what's wrong with me. I usually I like things a lot, and then I forget I like them for some reason. It just happens. But this was my favorite series for a long time as well. This is still a series I could recommend to kids. That sounds so horrible considering what this series is about. I just mean in a way that I think this is a kind of series that can really get you into reading and then discover other greater series. It's not that this isn't great, but you get me. I remember I hated the last book, the 3rd book, so much. I remember I thought Katniss was so annoying, which sounds so mean now because now I understand much more that, well, she was dealing with PTSD, oh my god, and so many other things. But as a kid, I was like, why is she whining? She is so annoying. Wow. I am apologizing on the behalf of my younger self. This series, though, I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, and that is I'm Number 4 series by Pittacus Lore, which is 2 people behind that one name. And it's really odd because I don't even have the first book, which I think I borrowed at the library, and I read it in Norwegian. And I have this one, this is book number 2. I have up to 5 in this series, and they are all like in different heights and shit and covers, and I don't even want to think about it. I love this series. I love this series so much. You have no idea. I love the movie. And I read a book actually after watching the movie. I have only read up to 3 actually. I never continued because I never got the next book. And then when I got it, I had forgotten about it, and now it's been years and I do want to reread. I Am Number 4 is, if you don't know, about these kids that are basically aliens. They are from outer space on this other planet, but they look like us. They are sent to Earth because they're the last living people of their species, and they all have different abilities and they all have different numbers. And then there are these aliens things hunting them, and they can only hunt them in the order of the number. They are given random numbers, and I don't actually understand why they couldn't take the ones before, but like number 1 got hunted down first, blah 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 blah, and now we are on I'm Number 4 because the other people before has been hunted down, and they can know when the others have been killed. So that's really nice, and I love the different abilities they have, and I just love this. I love Number 6, who also was played by Teresa Palmer in the movie, and I just thought she was perfect, and I loved it so much. I want to reread this because I do want to finish the series, and I'm pretty sure there's another series after this series now, so I'm so behind. But when I will get to it, I have no idea. I just wanted to talk about it. Yay. Again, I have a whole box out here because I didn't bother taking anything out, and that is the Aragon series. That's not what it's called. It's called The Inheritance Cycle. And a lot of people have heard about this, but they're quite old, so I don't see new people talk about it anymore. It's like they have died out. Yeah, I have watched the movie, but let's never talk about that because that's yeah, that doesn't exist. I read these a long time ago. I think the story is so well crafted and the world is so well crafted, and if you love giants, this is what you have. This is a kind of book series I recommend to people who wants to get into fantasy, because if you want to get into fantasy and reading, I recommend this because this can be read as a YA and sort of adult, so people will be more happy to pick it up, and it's not like super complex and hard to read, so it's really something I would recommend to people who will get into reading and who know they can like fantasy. That was like a totally other subject. I remember waiting for the fourth book to come out in Norwegian. This is a Norwegian box set, by the way. I remember it for such a long time, and it's like 1,000 pages, and I think still you could scratch the first 200 and there wouldn't be any difference in the story. It's about Aragon, who finds this giant egg, and he becomes her giant rider, really, and it's about giants. In this world, they have a ruler who is really, really mean, and I don't actually remember his name, Galabatrix or something like that. The story is really complex, and I still recommend it. I still love it. I just never talk about it, and I don't think about it as much. But yeah, actually the author just announced that there's gonna be a new short story collection set in this world coming in Christmas, so that would be something to look forward to. Yay! We then have Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. I mean, this series was everything to me because it surprised me so much on every turn. I was just like, oh my god! That was me. I still haven't read Bloodlines. I only read the first one and then I never continued, but I am gonna read it eventually. Adrian in this series is one of the characters I love so much with all my heart. I have forgotten my love again, but in my heart I know I still love him. I just hate these covers. I wish I had other covers, but I bought them when it was these covers. So yeah, this is like a series I binge read. I read them so quickly. I am surprised still that I managed to just get through a whole series so fast, because usually I just never finish my series. I'm sad there was no more movies because then we never got Adrian on screen, and it's horrible. Why? Oh my god, if you're new to this world, you might not actually know about this. Vampire Academy follows Rose, and she is Lisa Hathaway's best friend and also her bodyguard, and they go to this school called Vampire Academy, where there are people who are vampires and people who are their bodyguards. They also have their own name, I just have forgotten it. But they ran away and now they are back after a year, I think, and we don't actually know why they ran away until like over the middle of the book, and until then you were really confused, and then suddenly like, oh okay, now everything makes sense. So it's great. The world is really good. I love what she created here. It will always be epic to me. Next book I have here used to be one of my favorite books of all time, and now I have, surprise surprise, forgotten it, and that is Looking for Alaska by John Green. I read this on holiday in like 2 days, and it's not like it's long, and I was so shocked about a certain thing happening, which if you have read this, you won't know what I mean. It's like the whole point of the book. I am still shocked. I did not expect that. I should have expected that, but I did not, and I thought it was such a beautiful metaphoric book about so many questions and things in life, and I loved it so much. I was gonna write a paper about another book, but then I just pushed that book away to write a paper about this one because I thought it was so much more fitting. I love John Green's writing. It's not like he is unknown to anyone here. I will always love his writing, but this is my all-time John Green favorite book still. Looking for Alaska is about Miles, who goes to this boarding school where his father also went to look for his great perhaps in life. He loves lost words from dead people, which is interesting. Of course they had to be dead though to be lost words. Oh my god. This will always be a really close gem to me. I don't even know why I have this in here. It's really strange, but here we have Coco Angel by Cassandra Clare. Again, I used to love this so much. I still love it. It's just like, again, my love has faded away, and I feel like other people are more trustworthy than me and don't forget what they love. But I never talked about this, I think, and I felt like doing it now. Like, I have read this, yes, I have loved it and I am considering rereading it soon. I need to get my bananas together here. I liked it so much more than Immortal Instruments. A lot of people do. Jam is such a gem. If you don't know, this is a series set in the Shadowhunter Chronicles, the same world as the Mortal Instruments or the Dark Artifices that I can't pronounce, and other things coming in the future. This is set in Victorian London. We have Tessa Gray, who arrives at the Institute in London and she meets people there. It's so nice. I can never get over so many great plot twists and turns in this book. I screamed the whole time. The end still doesn't make sense to me, but I still screamed the whole time. And yes, I do still love these a lot. I don't talk about them and I forget about them. Oops. This video in the end didn't make any sense whatsoever, but that's fine. Who cares? Banana bears. Thank you so much for watching this video. Talk to me seriously down below if there are any books that you have loved or like loved a lot and then you sort of just forgot about them, or it's a long time since you read them, etc, etc, because this is really interesting to me for some reason. Bye.